Immigration policy and procedure in the US, the effects of current policy. I chose this topic because it is a very widely debated topic, both in it's viewed as a societal issue as well as a political issue. I wanted to understand more about the relationship between those and specifically focus on the southern border crisis and illegal immigration. Illegal immigration has existed in the United States for its entire history. And the research that I discovered provided that mostly the population has been formed based upon different waves of migration to the United States. Different immigrant groups have been perceived and integrated into U.S. Society in different ways, and they've also experienced that in different ways as groups. Legal immigration is extremely difficult to obtain. The main reason that I came across my reason to explore that further was because I interviewed an immigration paralegal at a Madison law firm. And he provided that very few people are able to immigrate to the United States legally. Going back to the formation of current policy, prior to 1920, there was very little numeric regulation on immigration. Today, as the paralegal was noting, policy is very exclusionary. And without meeting a very narrow set of criteria, such as having a high skilled degree, for instance, being a doctor, that's one of the only ways you'd be able to obtain, for instance, a work visa. But regular, working class families are not able to immigrate to the United States at this time to live and to work. The border crisis is something that's widely, covered in the media. And the paralegal brought up one thing in our local community, which was about the ICE raid that was in Madison, Wisconsin in September of 2018. 84 people were detained and sent to immigration court to start deportation proceedings against them. This was over the course of 3 days in Madison, Wisconsin. And based upon some of that information, I explored further some of the social issues and institutions that affect our society as they relate to immigration policy. Family separation. Research showed that there was empirical evidence that has been a devaluation of the immigrant family unit that has presented itself in the United States, in that it is very easy for immigrants to have, for instance, their complete parental rights taken away, which is a little bit shocking considering that, for in family courts in the United States, the removal of parental rights would be a very extensive and far-reaching act. The courts and the legislature, I came across one government document, which was SB 1070. It was an Arizona Senate bill. It is thought of still to be widely unconstitutional because of the way that it is worded, allowing for local and state government to question and ask for proof of lawful presence in the United States of America based on reasonable suspicion. The words reasonable suspicion are verbatim from that bill. And the unconstitutionality idea related to that of some experts, legal experts, including attorneys, say that the only ways that you would be able to determine someone might be an immigrant is because of ethnically or discriminatory reasons, such as language spoken, ethnicity, culture, if somebody has different customs, just things that really kind of lead to the question of it really being a social issue related to the courts and the legislature. The media, the paralegal I spoke with also said that one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about immigrants is provided through the media. And it was debated in some of the information that I researched if the term illegal immigrant was even really a correct term, or if it was actually indeed a racial slur. Current policy has also led to what is called one-way migration as opposed to two-way migration. Before, the numeric exclusions that have been, pretty common practice, for since amnesty was granted back in the 80s and earlier, that now that our policy is based on a numeric cap and data number contained system, there's what's called one-way migration, where migrants are coming and they are not returning to their country because of the way that policy is. It doesn't make it possible for them to come and go back. They're not able to come and go back. He also pointed out that the numeric data cap system is not effective because of the two economies, that there are these economies that are operating in such geographical proximity that it's natural that there's going to be an exchange of goods and services and of information. Information being speech, media, technology, that sort of thing, trade. So it was noted that there is a strong relationship between social issues and immigration policy and the law, and what is perceived as illegal immigration, in particular on the southern border of the United States. The use of consideration of global context and social effects when cultivating policy to address the southern border crisis is suggested because of the relationship between those issues and current policies. Thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to any comments I would get from it.